The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
All right, good people, welcome to the Daily Read. And I'm your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, today, I'm not going to do my normal show. I'm kind of under the weather. No coronavirus, people. Don't worry about the coronavirus. I'm straight. I got a nephew here. He's 2 years old, and I went and took something from him, and he sneezed directly in my face. I knew I was about to get sick. But I got a case of strep throat, so my voice is not that good. I'm recovering from it. By Monday or Tuesday, I should be back. And I got my first caller for the day. Welcome to the Daily Read.
Hey.
Who am I talking to?
You are talking to Launa.
Hey, sis, what's going on?
Hey, bruh.
You know, this is Get It Off Your Chest Day. I'm under the weather, so tell me what you want to get off your chest.
Okay, well, I know you had posted on there about you was going to do the call-ins and stuff today, and it was about should black people abandon America?
Right.
And I have a lot to say about that.
Okay.
Okay, so first I want to start with this. Hold on, let me get my charger. Let me plug my phone up. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, so bruh, I want to say this. No, my answer is no.
Okay. I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you, by the way, but go ahead.
Okay, my answer is no. Black people should not abandon America, and this is my reason. This is my reasoning. Okay, so for one, this country was not founded and created without black people.
Okay.
They may have came and took over it, but it was our ancestors that were brought here against their will, that tilled, cooked, washed, planted, built, and sold their sweat, blood, and tears into this country. So that's just one of them. And two, black people make up more than $1 trillion alone here.
Right.
So meaning that if we were to come together in unity more, we would have more. For instance, for an example, if 5 people came together with $100,000 each, they can purchase anywhere between 10 to 20 acres of land. And within that 10 to 20 acres of land, they can rebuild a small community just for black people.
Okay.
So bro, we have just as much right to be here as they do.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. My reasoning behind I don't think we should abandon America is because, like you were saying, it's like a slap in the face to our ancestors. You know, we built this country, and why should we leave here and let the grandsons and great granddaughters of slaveholders have what we built? You know, we deserve this place just as much as they do, and we should stay here and fight for what's right and what's ours. And
Exactly.
Now, if someone wants to leave, that's your business. I'm not going to stop that. I'm not going to try to talk them out of it. But equality is something that is God's given. It's not man given. It's God given. There's no race of people better than the other. Now, as far as what you were saying about building a black community, we should support it. I don't like the whole segregation thing. I don't like it in white communities, and I don't like it in black communities. Now, I think we should support more black businesses because, like for instance, I can go to 5 people off the back of my head. Just think of 5 people. And I can go to them and I can ask them, do you have any black-owned clothes makers clothing line in your closet. 9 times out of 10, they don't. And I know at least 5 girls right now that sell their own clothing line. And we'll go to the mall and buy some white guy from France, Louis. We go crazy over these bags. We go crazy over this Gucci. But, you know, how many local black-owned shoemakers or somebody done brought out their own shoe line? You know, how many of those people have you supported? So we could start supporting each other more. Like for instance, my show. I got almost 20,000 people watch my show worldwide. But
Amen.
But the people that actually support me, half of them are not even my Facebook friends or people I personally know. You know, so
Right.
I do agree with you 100% that you know we should stay here and fight for what's right and what's ours. But I think we could do better and support each other. Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Of course. I was prepared for this day. Okay, yeah. You need to sit your little. What you got? Some liquor up wine today.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that on my commercial break because
Yeah, okay.
I usually do.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, I usually do a wine or alcohol testing on Sundays, and I go buy me. I drink once a week now, and I go buy a different brand that I've never tried before. And today's brand is called American Barrels Kentucky Bourbon. I don't know if anybody can see that. This is American brand Kentucky Bourbon. It's a bourbon, and it has a beautiful bottle. It's a snake wrapped around the bottle, so maybe it's strong. I don't know. It's 86 proof.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I'm finna go and crack the lid right now, and I'm
I
gonna
was
tell
just
you.
gonna say that because the stuff I'm finna unleash right now. You hear me?
Okay. I'm finna see how it tastes.
You don't need to take a sip. But I do believe okay, now let me first and foremost say this. I don't condone violence and I don't condone segregation, which is true. But let me say this, in this country where our black people, men, women, and children are being slaughtered, the reason why I said about building a black community is to make it safe for our families to be able to live in peace, live in peace without fear of our neighbors. Do that make sense to you? Even though I heard what you said about the segregation part, but we still have to face reality that it is still racist out here that is strong, and that stuff ain't going away overnight.
No, it's not.
So in order for us to live in this country and where we don't have to be afraid and our kids don't have to be afraid to go out and ride their bikes up around the street, you know what I'm saying, around the corner, or if they coming into the neighborhood because they are black, they don't get questioned by the police, or do you live here, or something like that. That's the reason why I said we need to rebuild into a black community, because we still have to face the point that racism is still here and alive. But let me tell you this. Marcus, let me break it down. Let me really break this down to you, so you can better understand what's really going on.
Okay.
This has to go back. I know you're from. I know that you believe of a higher power. Let me say this, because I want to be politically correct. I don't want to add anything, and I don't want to take anything away. So I know that we both on this phone believe in a higher power, and I know that we both have Bibles. Whether yours is King James, the version, or mine is the other ones, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We both have Bibles that we refer back to. So with that being said, see, this goes back, what we're in goes back further. Then let me just, I gotta break it down so you can really understand what's really going on.
Okay.
So this goes back further than just when they brought the slaves over here. This stuff happened. If you go back, this stuff happened when before the world, well, after the creation of Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel.
Mm-hmm.
And let me explain this to you. White people are the only white people on this planet. Even Chinese, Asians, Latinos.
Back that up. What do you mean by that?
Listen, okay, if you let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain. Okay, listen. White people are the only white people on this planet. Chinese, Asians, Latinos, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Indians, and even Arabs have melanin in their skin. Or to be politically correct, they have color to their skin. Correct?
Okay. Actually, whites have melanin too. They have go ahead. I just want to be, since you want to be politically correct, I'm giving you.
Let's be politically correct.
This is scientific now. They do have melanin in the skin, just not.
So
okay.
that's why I said color to their skin.
Okay.
See, melanin is the pigment of your skin, but also it is a lot of other stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but catch me now. You know why white people don't have color to their skin?
Why is that?
It's because they bear the mark of Cain. Do you remember Cain and Abel in the Bible?
Now, yeah, I remember Cain and Abel, but
can I?
I really don't want to go into now I don't want to go into conspiracy theories. Now, because I'm gonna ask you, do you have any scientific proof to back that up?
If I got factual evidence here, then let me continue on to explain this.
Okay.
This ain't no bunch of hoo-ha.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
The mark of Cain.
You said I'm gonna need a drink. I'm for the sip right now.
Sip all you need. Sip. I'm telling you, I'm not just on here just talking, bro. I'm not on here just talking.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
I got my stuff here with me.
Okay.
So the mark of Cain goes back to Genesis chapter 4, verses 14 and 15 in the Bible. Now, how Africans got caught up in this was when the wandering Europeans went to their homeland and saw how blessed the people were and how blessed their land was, and their lifestyle was that of royalty. They had handmaids. Listen now, black people had cooks, servers, they had handmaidens, they had, and so forth, bruh. They devised a plan to steal us and our culture and brought it here. They brought God's chosen people here. And let me tell you how they know that we were God's chosen people. See, when they came, white people know their bloodline. They knew it back then, and they know it now. And they know about the curse of Cain. So when they brought the Africans here, they switched the narrative to as if we were the ones that bear the curse of Cain, and they were the ones that were blessed and chosen of God. But see, they created the narrative that they were blessed only because they have money, lots of land, and material things, whereas when they stole our culture to provoke and defend this narrative, because of their greed and deception, they left out the most important part. That in black African culture was that the things that we possess was it wasn't the reason why black African was so blessed. It wasn't because of the things that we possessed. It was because the fact that we had God. It was the fact that we had God. Bruh, if you go back into the Bible, in the Philistines, the Ark of the Covenant. You remember hearing about the Ark of the Covenant?
Mm-hmm.
The Ark of the Covenant. The Philistines had defeated the Israelites, or back in their time they were called. Oh God, Jesus! I'm gonna say it was. They had defeated the Israel. They had defeated and they had stole and took the Ark of the Covenant. See, the Ark of the Covenant was given to God's chosen people. Do you hear me? Follow me with this, okay?
Okay, I'm following.
The Ark of the Covenant was given to God's chosen people. When the Philistines had slaughtered them and took their Ark of the Covenant, they took the Ark of the Covenant and took it back to their land. They broke out in diseases and tumors. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
They had broke out in diseases and tumors so bad that they didn't have a choice but to return the Ark of the Covenant back to the Israelites. And bro, guess where the Ark of the Covenant is right now?
Where is it at?
It's in Ethiopia. It's in a small town in Ethiopia. That's where it resides to this day. Bruh,
Let
black
me.
people.
I'm running on. I'm running up to a commercial break,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna hold you on the line because
Okay.
this is interesting.
I got more. I got more.
Believe me, I understand.
And I want to
Let me.
explain this. I don't want it to be left unexplained.
No, I'm. Believe me, I'm gonna let you explain it. Let me get right back
Okay.
to you.
All right.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, people, back. Welcome back to the Daily Read, and we are here with Launa Pigue. She's the first caller of today. Like I said, people, I have strep. I'm getting over it, and I decided to take some phone calls today because I wanted to get a feel for what's going on in the communities. Ain't nobody calling, and this is I'm gonna let you get back to your point, what you was trying to make, but this is a prime example of what I mean. If I was on here talking about some gossip, some hip hop gossip, my phone would probably be blanging off the hook. I got over 2,000 people. That's why I don't go live anymore. I have over 2,000 people on my Facebook page, and I've opened up the discussion. Call in. Let the world know how you feel. Don't hide it. If you're a bigot, call in. If you're a righteous person, call in. If you're a God-fearing person, call in. Let us know how you feel about Donald Trump. Let us know how you feel about the current political climate. Don't just listen to me talk. You know, it's open. The line is open. I got the camera live over here. I got the camera over here live. I got iHeartRadio going. Call in. You know, how many of y'all got y'all voter registration cards? How many of y'all down there registered to vote? You know, y'all saying Black Lives Matter. Y'all marching. Y'all tired of police officers killing young black men. You got to put people in office that's going to change that. Not sitting back trying to let somebody else change it. You got to start sending your kids into politics instead of putting a football in their hand and letting them run 1,000 yards a season. Because half of the kids that run 1,000 yards a season in high school, they'll never even make it to the pros. Very few make it to the pros. So we got to start pushing people into politics and start paying attention to politics and stop paying attention to these damn rappers and these IG models because they ain't talking about nothing. These people out here talking about something. Okay, Lana, go ahead. Finish what your statement was.
Okay, brother Abel.
I got someone calling in, so keep it brief.
Okay. So, bro, that's awesome. And I'm going to just say this, too. I'm going to say that we as a black community, we got to take actions. I love what you just said about that. Taking them out, you know, not only just the ball and the rappers and stuff like that. We as a black community, we have to be able to teach our kids how to work with their hands. We got to teach our kids how to build houses and to carpet and fix roofs and stuff like that. We got to be able to teach our kids other stuff than just working in a factory or working at McDonald's or getting that dream job. The dream job now should be you owning your own business. So, bro, I'm totally for that, encouraging black people to do more. I am truly understand. I'm encouraging it to the more. And I'm gonna just keep it brief about this, Lord. Lord Jesus Christ, help me, brother. Being taken from our homeland, we never was able to get rooted in the true power, strength, and promises that God had already blessed us with. Where white people still to this day know who and what built and made the United States as successful and prosperous as it is today.
Okay.
See, where back then white people were known as the pharaohs or the Philistines. Today they're known as racist, bigots, or the KKK. And instead of telling the truth and correcting their lies, their ancestors killed so many people to defend, they would rather sweep it under the rug with racism, systematic oppression, and police brutality. And the worst part about a racist is that their whole motive and reasoning and behind what they do and stand for is a lie. Bruh, they would rather go to war and get many more innocent people killed than create laws that will benefit us all. And bruh, all I got to say about that is if racist white people want to start a war, I'm more than confident to say not only black people, but everybody who has suffered at the hands of racism, systematic oppression, and police brutality is ready to unleash more than 400 years of built-up anger on that ass. Excuse me. Lord, forgive me. But I am serious. I'm serious. More than 400 years. We're ready to go to war behind that. It's time out. We're not trying to take over here. We're trying to become a part of here. We've never we never fit in their systematic racist beliefs. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we built this country. And if you remember the curse of Canaan, that God had cursed them to where that they couldn't, if they tilled the land. You got to go back to Genesis 4:11-16, bro. God had cursed the Canaan that the earth, that if they tilleth the ground, that it shall not yield unto them. That's why we was the ones who was killing it straight. They knew that whatever they planted, bro, it wasn't going to prosper. Bro, I'm telling you, if you look at it, everything that they have, we have made it better for them. So no, we don't want to take over. We want what's rightfully ours. And that's where I'm at. No, we don't need to leave America. No, this is our country just as well as it's theirs. And until they understand that, until they get them racists and them bigots out of their offices, them attorney generals, the judges, the lawyers, the reason why the jail is so overfilled is because it's innocent black men in there right now that don't belong. They doing 30 years for a crime that they could have walked away from. They could have been prevented. Some people have died because of this. Do you understand? It's time out. It's over with. This racist, biggest stuff, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.
I agree with you.
But, bro, that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to hold up time from anybody else that's calling in. But I had done my research on this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And God it's not all white people are bad. And I want to make sure that I say that. You know what I'm saying? Not all white people are bad, but I'm talking about the racist ones, the biggest ones, the ones that are still trying to separate us, the ones that are still trying to systematically oppress us, the ones that are still police retaliating us. You know what I'm saying? Them are the ones that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Do you feel me?
I agree with you 100%. But as far as the whole thing about Palestine and Israel, I've debated a lot of black activists who are into the whole becoming Israelite movement, and most of us black Americans didn't even come from the northern part of Africa when our forefathers came here. It's hard to tell people that we black Americans are not Israelites. We black Americans are not Palestinians. We black Americans are not Jews or Moors. We're not Egyptian. We come from the southern part of Africa. We were more the Bushmen of Africa. I don't know if anybody ever seen that movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy. It's a real funny movie. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to see it. But we come from the part of Africa that, like the Zulu tribe, you know, we come from the part of Africa that was not caught up in the northern European influx when the Europeans invaded Jerusalem, when the Europeans in Rome invaded the northern part of Africa. We wasn't a part of that because most of the slaves during the slave trade came from the southern part of Africa. So you know, I agree that.
So let me say this, bro.
Okay.
So let me say this, bro. So in the map of Africa, where is Ethiopia located? Is that in the north or in the south?
Ethiopia is in the it's in the eastern part. the eastern part of Africa, the more Middle Eastern part of Africa.
You could consider it down south.
Closer towards the middle. It's a good way. It's a good clip below Egypt, Israel, all of that.
So let me explain this to you. I don't care what nobody call themselves, Israelites, Jews, whatever you call them. I said that we are God's chosen people.
I don't doubt
that. Do you
that.
understand what I'm saying?
I don't
and
doubt that.
And that's what I'm sticking to. And that's what I'm sticking to. Point blank period. Point blank period. I don't care what you call it or what you call yourself. I said that we are God's chosen people.
Okay.
And that's what I'm sticking to, and that's where I'm ending this conversation off with.
Okay.
Because, of course, you could take it and you could, because the knowledge you have and the knowledge I have, do you understand what I'm saying? I know that the proof says that the Ark of the Covenant they had to give the Ark of the Covenant, which God gave to the children of Israelites, and the Ark of the Covenant had to be given back from the Philistines to the Israelites back into Ethiopia. So, bro, I don't care where they saying that black people came from. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's not what they're saying.
I know that we are
It's not what they're saying. They have the slave trade came up through Morocco. Some of the Moors helped sell slaves to the white people. But that's another whole discussion. But I want to thank you.
You said get it off your chest, bro.
Yeah, I did. Let me get to some other callers and
get to some more callers, bro. And listen, I do stand in unity. That God is with you, God is with us, and I do believe this. That no matter what we do, God said He'll never leave nor forsake us, bro. And I love you, and I hope that your voice gets back better and you feel better. Okay.
Well,
talk to you later. Black
Power. Bye. Great. That's Launa Pigue, man. She's that's my sister. She's into the church heavy, and it's a lot of love there for people, man. A lot of love there for people, and you know I have to teach sometimes, not the Bible. She know the Bible, but sometimes people in our community, especially the black communities that's in the church, they try to relate. Oh, here come my second caller. You on the Daily Read?
Hey, okay. I read the quote, and my thing is about the whole should black Americans abandon America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say no, because first of all, we need to learn to survive, to know how to survive in America. How can we leave America if we don't know how to survive here? Where will we go to if we don't know the true survival skills? How are we gonna go somewhere else? It's gonna be 2 times worse than what we are facing here.
That's right. I agree with you 100%. Now, first of all, this is Mara J. People, y'all stay tuned. My voice is kind of hoarse. Y'all stay tuned because she got her own show coming, and we working on it right now. And probably by October, the first week of October, she gonna be up live and running. So go ahead, Mara. Give the people your thoughts.
My thought, first of all, we need to learn how to build unity. And without unity, we can't go nowhere else. We can't go to Africa. We go to China. We can't go to any of these other countries to survive if we don't know unity here in America. We have to practice. We have to learn that. We saying Black America should. We need to learn to love. We need to learn to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we don't know how to love each other, just think about if we was to leave all together. It ain't gonna be nothing but fights and war.
That's right.
Among us.
That's right. I'm gonna give you a prime example of that. When that Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, they shipped all of those people that didn't have any place to go. They sent them to Memphis. They sent them to Mississippi. They helped them people get settled in Wisconsin. All over the United States, and it was gang fights breaking out in the hoods because they was bringing the bad stuff with them instead of being humble and coming into an area and saying, you know what, I need you guys right now. We're gonna do everything I can to keep things peaceful and live. They started coming in trying to take over drug turf. It was gang fights. Memphis blew up. I'm talking about it was crazy. How the gang violence shot clean through the roof. And it's gonna be if we have a mass migration to Africa or Canada, or we just start abandoning instead of getting ourselves together here, it's gonna be problems.
Yes, it would be 2 times worse than what we're facing right now. Like, yeah, we see black on black crimes and this and that, but we can fix those situations. And like, it's all about loving one another. You know, you gotta love no matter who it is out there. You gotta open arms. Just like I did if you used to go do Big Brother Big Sister program, and you don't know this kid that you being a big brother Big Sister to, but you showing them the roots of out here in the real world. Like I have a little cousin myself, and yes, she's my little cousin, but I look at her more than a little cousin. I look at her as my little sister, somebody I could teach and be a role model for. You know, it's a crazy world out here. You don't want to send your child or anybody to go out here and then, you know, you got to teach them. So it's like you got to teach. It starts at home. You got to tell your child about what's out there in the world, and that's what a lot of kids don't know. So they just going out there.
That's right.
When they leave from high school, middle school, and all that, they are being sent out there. They don't know, well, the bad people, the crime. They don't know that because they ain't being taught at home.
I'm a very big fan of what you're saying about crime starts at home. And I know we don't teach our kids crime or criminal behavior. Nobody does, I don't think, except for, you know, mafia people. But
no, I didn't say you teach them crime. I didn't say that.
no, I think crime. I personally think crime starts at home because of the lack of attention to the things that's going on with your kids, because you so caught up in whatever you doing, you know, like the whole disciplinary thing is something serious that we as minorities need to start taking care of, because our generation that grew up under the belt, we differ from the kids that didn't grow up under the belt, and you can see it.
That's true.
You can see it. Some of us are starting to act like, you know how the comedians, they make jokes about how, man, I went to the gas station the other day, man, I seen this little white kid, he fell all out on the floor, man, I wish he would have fell out on me, I would have whooped his butt, this and that. You got black kids now doing this because we are starting to mimic how other races are raising their kids, and it's causing a disciplinary problem that's stretching out into adulthood with some of these people. Some of these people don't even know how to clean properly.
That's true. That is true. Don't know how to wash dishes. You got, like, when I was coming up, that's why I said, if we was to go to another country, black Americans, a lot of them, majority, especially, like I said, I'm only 26, but wouldn't know how to survive.
Right.
A lot of them don't know how to cook. A lot of them don't know how to fix cars. A lot of them don't know how, like, none of this stuff. It's all the fast industry, fast money stuff that my generation is looking at, like music industry, mall and all that. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that. But when I was young, my grandma had me in the kitchen cooking.
That's
I had to clean. I had a whole list on the refrigerator of chores that I had to, me, my brother, and sister had to do.
That's right.
And it's like, none of the stuff, like, as I was coming up, a lot of these kids don't know how to do it. Only thing they know how to do is fix cereals, cook noodles, this and that. They don't even know how to cook a simple meal.
Right. And you'd be surprised how many young black women, like my sisters, they can cook a whole Thanksgiving dinner, but a lot of women I've met over the last 10 years that from age 30 down, they wouldn't be able to cook a whole Thanksgiving meal. I mean, I might be wrong, but I promise you, on my hand alone, I can count at least 6 right now that I know. They wouldn't know. They might cook that turkey, but that dressing and everything else. Huh?
At the age of my age group and younger.
Yeah. And it's.
Because I disagree. I disagree. Because you got to think about today's kids. You got to think about my generation and what they doing today. A lot of them ain't even in the kitchen.
No.
A lot of them, just like I say, the whole pandemic, guess what it was hard for them to do? Stay at home.
Oh
It was
yeah.
hard for them to stay at home. So if they out here in the streets, how they cooking in the kitchen? They ain't in no kitchen. They out there in the streets still.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they kept the biggest on the news. They kept saying my age generation, the millennial, my age generation, 26 and younger and a little bit up in the millennials and Generation X. They kept saying these kids are out here in the streets. These kids out here constantly partying. How they cooking? They eating fast food. As I was just telling you, I said during the whole pandemic, the fast food restaurant lines were wrapped around the corner or wrapped around the building. If that's wrapped around the building, that tells you right there nobody was cooking.
Yeah. Let me go into this next commercial break, and when we get back, I'm gonna continue on with this conversation. This is interesting.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, we back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. I had on the phone lines with Mara J. She's the host of Real Talk with Mara J. She's going to be coming out probably the first week of October. She's getting her things together. We're getting all the things she needs together, and she's going to be great, people. I'm telling you, she's going to be good. Go ahead, Mara. Go back into what you was talking about in that discussion, while we're waiting on another caller.
I was speaking on like the generation, like millennial generation. Like I was saying, the whole lines of the fast food restaurants was packed. Like if you go in a grocery store. Yeah, you see most of the meat and stuff and the snacks and all that stuff was gone off the shelf. But when you go into the fruit and vegetables,
right,
it was a lot still there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot still there.
Oh, people was telling me you couldn't find no food in the stores. I went in there and I looked around. I said, man, I can make meals off the stuff that's still in here. I already knew.
Okay.
Yeah, I can make some real good meals off this stuff in here.
It wasn't the food they wanted to cook wasn't in the store.
Right.
The food that really helps keep your immune system and stuff up and keep you from getting sick. Mm-hmm. That's the food they don't want. That's the food they send away.
That's right.
So when they say, that's why I say when I had went vegan probably a couple months ago and stuff and vegetables. But it's all about knowing how to survive and protect yourself from out there in the world. Nothing wrong with me in having a snack here and there, but you got to still, like I go back to what I was saying, knowing how to survive. You got to have your vegetables, your fruit.
Yeah.
I helped, like during this whole pandemic, I helped my mom. We built a garden.
Okay.
Got another buddy of mine built the garden. At his mom's house, built the garden. It's like those little things, you got to find time. Kids, my generation, they don't know how to do no garden. Plant vegetables, this and that fruit. The neighbor next door, they grow their own. My mom neighbors next door, they grow their own fruit, vegetables.
And that's going to be needed if this thing get out of control.
But it's like people not understanding, but you had the news talking about food shortage. So if it's a food shortage, how you gonna survive?
Right. And a lot of people don't realize you can go to a co-op and buy seeds. My people used to have seeds in drawers. Like we used to go in the kitchen and open up drawers looking for a spoon, and you would see seeds. I don't even think people buy seeds anymore. Just in case hard times hit, you can go out there and start your little garden somewhere, and you gonna eat.
My cousin had strawberries. She had and she lives in Georgia. Had a plant. She was growing her own plants. She had strawberries, tomatoes. She was growing a little bit of everything and stuff in her yard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hell. You got to learn those things. That's part of surviving out here. I did like I said. A lot of people out here don't know how to survive. They just live.
Right. That's true.
It's too much living and not knowing how to survive. That's why I said I'm gonna be real with you. You don't even learn all of that in the military. You don't.
No.
You learn up in the military, but you don't learn exactly everything about survival skills in the military. You don't.
Yeah, my mother, she was in the military 25, 26 years.
My dad was in the Army for 20-some years.
Yeah, and she can't, right now, she don't even know how to work that GPS on her phone. And I looked at her sometimes. She said, "Son, put the address in the phone for me." And I looked at her. I said, "Hold up, you done jumped out of airplanes in foreign countries, and you can't put we laughed about it, but I looked at her like, "Oh, what's going on?" But yeah.
I talked to a lot of the military people up here. I know a lot of military people up here or whatever. And then just by talking to them, I always, joke around with like, "Oh, well, you learned that in the military." Oh, the number one thing is, the military don't teach us nothing. And these are young black Americans. The military don't teach us nothing. They don't even know how to cook in the military.
Yeah, I think they had their own cooks. For all my people on live, this is the Daily Read, and we got open mic today. My voice is out a little bit, and I'm trying to recover. So call in, people. You might be my last caller, cause like I say, like I was telling my sister on the last call before you called, that I got 20,000 viewers, and most of the 20,000 viewers I got is people from all over other places that love my show. Half the people, man, I got about 3,000 people on my Facebook. It's live right now. Call in, tell us how you feel. Ain't nobody calling in. And, I bet half of them don't even have a voter registration card. I asked a young man the other day, I said, "Hey man, you going to vote?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you get online and sign up with the Secretary of State? Because you got to register to vote." He said, "No, I didn't know that." I said, "Yeah, you got to register to vote. You need to get on that ASAP." So it's just.
So I did mine already.
Yeah, you got to register to vote. You got to let the people know, man. I'm coming down there.
I ain't gonna lie, it's tough. I ain't gonna lie. I'm doing it just to vote. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really a political person because I got my statements on both parties, and I'm just doing it just to vote.
I mean, your vote counts. Don't. I hate it. I don't like when people tell black people, "Man, your vote don't count." You doing a white supremacist job. They don't want you to vote because they gonna put people who they want to put in office so they can have all this white supremacist stuff going on. So they gonna tell you your vote don't count, and then you got black people telling you your vote don't count, and then you ain't going down there.
Look, your vote do count. It's a number that goes towards it goes somewhere. It does count.
Yeah.
Everybody votes count.
Yeah.
Everybody, no matter who you vote for, everybody. I said that I have my opinion on both parties.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I do. I do. I have my opinion on both parties. At the end of the day, it ain't no with me. Like I told you, it ain't no black or white thing. It ain't not with me. It's just I do have my opinion on both Democrats and Republicans.
Right. I mean, you sound like a true independent.
I do have my statements on both because at the end of the day, as I wrote my poem, it's there. Like You got the Democrats, you do got the Republicans. You do got to go vote. It does matter of who's best. But at the end of the day, like I said, who really knows who's really best? Because guess what? I'm not gonna put my opinion on here, but I do have my both sides. I do have both sides. It's kind of crooked on both sides.
Well, that goes back to the history. And when I did this show, I decided to study on the history of politics before I jumped out here. And people don't take me serious. Like the Democrats and the Republicans used to be a part of one party. It used to be called the Democrat Republican Party. They used to be against the Whig Party. You know, those white men with the wigs on back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
They destroyed the Whig Party and split the Democrats and the Republican Party into two. That's how you got Democrats and Republicans, but they used to be a part of one party. Okay? And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, some of their stuff is damn near similar. But I do know one thing, that the Republican Party of today has been taken over by white supremacy.
It has, yes, it has been taken over by white supremacists. That's clearly people should clearly see that part.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got Democrats. Like I said, I wrote a whole poem. I wrote a whole poem about this. I literally wrote a whole poem about the money. I don't really too much. I don't like the Republicans because it's the white supremacists. They all about themselves and their money, keeping themselves in a certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like Democrats because, simple fact, Democrats, they help. But first of all, I'm not no type of person. I gotta go out here and work hard. Democrats,
right.
They give you this and that, but at the same time, they want you to stay on the government level.
Right. They don't wing. You saying they don't wean you off? They just keep giving.
It's like a baby. It's like giving a baby a bottle, but at the end of the day, the baby got to grow up.
Right.
And then
I agree with that.
Giving that bottle when he 18, you ain't.
I agree with that.
Let go. You have to eventually let go.
That's true.
That's my whole thing with the Democrats. You know, it's all about the government. You know, government this, government that, and goes to the people. People get caught up in the government, but that's why I said, me personally, I do my own thing. I'm independent.
Right, I can tell you, and I'm an independent person too. But
I don't like the government in my business. I ain't no government person. Yeah, I had it, but at the end of the day, when my mom was on this stuff, first of all, I would never put my daughter in a room with my son. But that's how the government operates. That's the government mindset, which goes back to the Democrats.
Mm.
No, first of all, so that's why she had got out years ago when we were young and kids. She got off of that stuff, so it made me see. Okay, no, I don't deal with them. Period. I don't. And so they give you all of these. You got the Democrats on their hand. I work so hard, but yet you take all this money out of one single person who has absolutely no children, but you take all of this money from one individual, and then you spread that money all back. You didn't get that back in Texas.
Okay, now I do understand where you're coming from with that, but now this is what's the choice that we have.
What, have a baby?
No, the choice. The choice we have. I mean, babies. I love kids, but
I don't get wrong. I love kids too, but I ain't sound great. I got to learn to bear for myself before I go out here. And
that's true.
Take care of me and
that's true.
Children.
This is what I'm trying to say. We basically have a choice between riding with bigotry because we don't like the other side who ain't really about that bigotry stuff, that's got a little higher taxes on you. And they're giving away the piggy bank. I'm sorry, I can't, man, look, if you're gonna take a little more tax from me, man, I can't stand bigotry. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn about no damn business. I can get out here and create my own business. I can't stand a racist. They make me sick to my stomach. I don't want to be around these people. And I don't want them running the government. They dangerous.
That's why as I was telling you, if we want change, we have to, we have to be that change. We keep saying what we don't want and we don't do this, but yet, like I said, ain't nobody. At the end of the day, okay, yeah, you had Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and they took the places and they stepped and did all that. But who in today's society, who's willing to step up and be those people that fought? You ain't seen nobody. Everybody keeps saying what they don't want, and I don't need this and I don't want this, but yeah, ain't nobody stood up and did it.
Actually, they out there.
Who?
They out there. Trust me, they out there. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I say that, because the reason why I say they out there is because the whole movement right now is too organized. Their names ain't out there like widespread, like a Martin Luther King Jr. But that's why it's so much fear of Antifa. That's why it's so much fear of Black Lives Matter, because the government knows who's running those organizations. We might not have heard their name before, but them people is organized, you know. And it's too many different states that the cities are going up. I'm talking about immediately, as soon as it pops, them states and towns and cities is going up, and it's too organized.
But people talking about running it. Okay, if it's all it is. But I'm talking about in each one of these states. Each one of these states, you ain't see, especially Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee, it's black people here. You ain't see nobody else step up and do it in Tennessee, or you ain't seen nobody step up and do it in you got Memphis, Tennessee. You got look at all these black states with the high crimes and police brutality. Ain't nobody stepped up and say, well, I'm gonna change this community to sway the black community to and this and that and doing this and that. Mm-hmm. You ain't seen nobody step up and do that. Yeah, but you see people sitting here saying what they don't want and this and that, the government, but yet you want to see the next person go be a rapper. But you want to yet see the next young lady show her body online for money.
Right. I totally understand what you're saying with that. I don't like that.
You have a rapper sitting here and leave. You got one rapper that sitting here got all these mindsets, but yet you ain't got one person to go out here and change the way. But you ain't see a lot of these rappers out here saying, "Hey, bro, let me. Hey, I'm gonna get a group of black boys or women sitting here getting a group of black sisters to come and tell them, oh, well, we gonna change this." You don't see them doing that. They don't keep making their money.
Yeah. I'm running up against the time, Mara, and I appreciate the call. We gotta call my phone. Let me wrap this up and call me back on my personal phone, and we'll continue our personal conversation. Cause I gotta log out. But this is the Daily Read, people, and this is an open mic. I'm gonna start doing this more often. And today's drink of the day, I went and got American Barrels. It's a Kentucky bourbon. I just took a little sip off of it, and I'm gonna put it on the shelf for family and friends to come over that want to drink. But it tastes okay. It tastes pretty good. It's not that bad. So tune in. All my live feed right now. Listen to me. This is the Daily Read. I'm on the phone with Mara J. She's the host of Real Talk with Mara J. You can tune in the first week of October. We're gonna get this thing together. But I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Bring in the business.